yesterday caught Tilly eating horse shit. So eat like a horse. Eat a horse's shit. You shit like a horse. Because that's what it looks like. Alright, day 3 of our 60-something mile loop, 50-something mile loop. It is pouring, and I'm super bummed because I think a big part of this trail that we're going on is going to be like ridgeline hiking, which means it's going to suck in the rain. And I don't know about how much I'll be recording, obviously, with the weather, so bear with me. That's it. Go. Go, go. Just open it up. Got mountain or azalea blooming. So, just found some chicken of the woods. Gonna be my dinner. Yes. Alright, here we go. Off to the unknown, Iron Mountain Trail. The old AT, let's go. Alright, so we're on the Iron Mountain Trail, aka Old AT, up until 1972. So far, the day has cleared out, knock on my head, pretty well. Like it feels really nice out. It's nice and cool, so I'm not worried about the heat right now for Tilly. It's probably like 50s or 60s, so like perfect. So far the trail is pretty muddy, but I think this has largely been used as a horse trail. So that's just kind of what you get with horse trails, is they just get so muddy. Plus the rain. I'm also like seeing big tracks. I can't tell if it's bear or horse though, honestly. I'm gonna guess horse, but I guess this morning someone saw a cub running through camp, and I was like just 5 miles back. But it kind of goes out in between so far of like being like wide track to like pure single track. But I only have been on the trail for like half a mile, so yeah, I will. Should be pretty cruisy, according to like the terrain map. It's kind of rocky, but that's just Virginia, so keep you guys posted. This is a super kind of like loose rock, wide path I was just talking about. I also want to say, like, one thing I like about trails like this that like are not on far out is that it's just kind of an open adventure. It's been a really long time since I've done the trail, that I was like, guess we'll just find out. And like usually I watch a couple YouTube videos on something like this. See, this is like super muddy. And like I did, but I only got around to watching just the one, and he definitely took a couple different paths than I'm taking, but I think in the large part he did this Iron Mountain Trail. He didn't really record much on like terrain and such, and like there was an old shelter he stayed at, but I don't know like what trail exactly that was on, like Pine Mountain or Iron Mountain. So we'll just find out and see, I guess. But this is why I'm recording this hike, is to provide this information to future users. So a lot of this trail, it looks like it's on a fall line, which means that like essentially it's the easiest way for water to fall down the earth, because this trail is just a river. Which makes sense because if it's an older AT section, then it know the consequences of building a trail like this. And I'm also thinking about the fact that trail description said ridgeline hike. I'm now thinking, oh, maybe I'm not going to be exposed at all. But it said there would be outcrops. But I'm just impatient, I guess. So just came from there. You'll walk across the road, and there's kind of an open camping area. And then, hi, Q. And then this is kind of a sort of a hidden path. It's not very well visible, but you just go straight. But that dirt road actually kind of led back down into like the Mount Rogers area. And part of my brain was like, should we? But I want to see what this is like. Maybe it'll get better, and there's just a really crappy section right then and there. Because it already seems nicer. But I want to double check the map and make sure I'm on the trail. Because it does look like a little bit like an animal trail. So I think what happens is it's not well marked, and people started this way. They're like, oh, wrong direction, because I think it actually goes up the trail, but there's no signage that tells you to go up the road. So if you're going south, hook a right. If you're going north, hook a left. Here we go. That's it. Okay, this is sweet. Looks like an old privy and a shelter. And now that I know this, I'm like, dang, wish I made it here last night instead of getting poured on. But I think I'll just take my break here and let my stuff dry out. This must be cherry log shelter. I did see this in the guy's video. Well, this is a pretty cool spring. It reminds me of one, there's like a couple in Virginia that's like this. So this is pretty cool. This is Cherry Tree Shelter. And then pause it if you want to read anything on that. And then it's got directions eastbound and westbound. So I'm going westbound, aka Sobo. Okay, so my hair is crazy. According to the westbound directions, it says to basically continue for 10.7 miles and there will be a shelter. So I will probably aim for that. That'll be really nice to not pitch my tent and risk it getting wet. It might rain again tonight. Sorry, thought I heard a noise, but it's just Tilly. It might rain again tonight. Not sure. I don't really trust the weather. I mean, it was pretty accurate today. I mean, we definitely got a lot more rain than I think it said we were supposed to, according to both Mount Rogers and AT Weather website. But anyways, 10.7 miles, probably aim for that. It'll be a shelter. So that'll put me at 16 today. And then I'll probably end up taking the Creeper Trail back into Damascus because I think, according to the directions, it might put me on like the part of the AT that really sucks that I'm not going to ever do again in my life. When you first leave Damascus going northbound, but I would end up doing that southbound, And I just have no interest in doing that either. But yeah, so, and that'll make me, I think that'll give me just 2 or 3 miles to get back into town, which would be sweet. I think 10, maybe 5, I don't know, but it'll be pretty quick because it'll be flat. And then I can get the diner breakfast in the morning because today is Memorial Day and then tomorrow will be Tuesday, so they should be open. So it's pretty good. Climbed up out of that shelter. It's just a slight ascent, nothing too bad. And now I'm on some pure single track again. A couple bogs, but honestly not too bad. This is the view on the side. I'm sure if the leaves weren't in, it'd be a lot better, but still haven't come across any outcrops or amazing views. But honestly, that's okay. I had a good break back there, and if I can just put my head down and walk for 5 miles until I get to, or 10 miles, 5 hours to get to the next shelter or campsite, then that'll be it. Bog. Okay, so the shelter is about 1 mile back. I hit this road, and the directions that were at the shelter said to turn left on the road, but right across the street from where you hit the road is an established campsite. And I'm also having Gaia and Strava run in the background to drop points, especially on this trail. But yeah, so I should follow this for a mile and then turn left to get into the woods. Some more of that gorgeous azalea. All right, I'm on the right path. Yellow blaze on the tree. Here we go. It's pretty obvious. 2 double blazes and obviously a sign. Iron Mountain Trail. 2 more miles to the next road. There's so many rhododendron mountain laurels in bloom. It's so pretty. This is why I'm out here. Coming down into the road, SR 600, I think, state route. I keep seeing these little boxes everywhere. I don't know what that is. Anyways, it's pretty cruisy, honestly. I see we go up there and probably go up for a little bit. This way. This is the woods shortly after crossing the road. Go up a nice little hill and then you're back out onto pretty smooth terrain. Yeah, I think maybe the vistas once existed. And then the trail, like the woods grew up. That's my guess. Because we're going to keep dropping in elevation. And it's practically all downhill except for a couple little ups. So I don't think I'm gonna get any views, but well, I don't know what the weather's doing because the forecast said it might rain this evening / afternoon. So there's a blue patch sky right above me. There's like gray sky everywhere else. So we're just in the mountains, and this is what it does. But it's really nice forest, and I'm happy to be walking in it. Just got up at a solid climb. Now we're walking through a nice little meadow. So this is Straight Branch Shelter, I believe. So halfway between the last shelter and the next one, which is one of my goals. 5 miles to the next shelter from this one. And it looks like there's plenty of camping, good forest to camp in, all that good stuff. It's getting super rutted through here. Definitely a turn off. So it's already 3:30 now. Left the shelter the last one a little while back. Part of my brain is like, it'd be super dope to get off this hellish trail. It's a little hellish. It has some really nice parts, but the bad parts are kind of kicking in again. But I could get the Shaw's Gap, take the turn off, walk down a Bear Creek Trail, and then hop back on the Virginia Creeper Trail and walk by some really sweet campsites and/or pass by the camp store and get like some ice cream tonight. Oh, and I can't even take the full Iron Mountain Trail, oh my god, back into Damascus because it's only after, like, the last couple miles are only for horse riders and bike riders. Just did a pud over Grassy Ridge, walking towards Shaw Gap. I still don't know, it's like 7 miles if I took all like the little trails to get back to the Creeper Trail. So I don't know if it's really worth trying to like not do the Iron Mountain Trail anymore. They recommend just staying on and taking the Spur Trail off the AT, but I don't know. And I'm only 2 miles from the one shelter still. It's almost 5. I was hoping to get there at 5:30-ish, but this was a little bit more difficult than I was expecting because the map made it look like it was pretty much all downhill, save for a few spots. But for a while I was just climbing, like gently climbing. I'm like, why am I climbing? It's supposed to be going down into Damascus. I don't know. And look at the terrain maps more too. I went up a classic AT climb out of a gap. I debated taking the turn off, but it was like 4 miles. So just hit the AT. And it's just 2 miles to the shelter. So I'm like, okay. But damn, walked past that sign, had to go up this hill. I definitely feel better after having a quick granola bar to eat and getting over 2 of 3 of the known like little ridges, I guess, that I have to go over before I like descend into the shelter area. I'm not really sure what the terrain. So I hit a road, and there's like 0.3 from the road to the shelter, and it looks like the trail kind of zigzags. But I don't know. Like the elevation map is a little hard to read down there, or right there. So I'm like not really sure what it's doing. But I guess I'll find out. So just past a little trail intersection up there. One way led to Bushwhacker Trail, and then the other was Iron Mountain Trail. And then right down the little path is a good campsite here, and then probably another one right behind me too. And then I think Bushwhacker Trail keeps going that way, but we're gonna go this way. So I'm at the former side of the shelter, and there is no shelter. It's just a really poor spring. So I think I might just continue on the Bushwhack Trail and then take Feather Camp to the AT, or rather Creeper Trail, and then just camp where I camped the other night. Tilly is going to hate me. I might carry her stuff for her. All right, here we go. Appalachian Trail, 2 miles, and then we'll cross it and be at the same campsite. This is like a 20-mile day too. So sorry, Telly. You're a champ. That's what she gets for having a mother who's very pancake motivated. But at least it's like all downhill. There'll be plenty of water, and she's not wearing her pack. So here we are in the daylight. All right, so probably the last video before I go to bed, but I got dinner Got the TVP, dehydrated vegetables, ramen, and then that chicken in the woods is boiling up. You want to boil it before you eat it, or else your stomach gets messed up. Yum, yum, yum. And then I got my tent, Tilly's in there, ready to go to bed. I rinsed out my shorts behind the tree. Got one shirt there, and another shirt there. And my socks are there. That's it. Good night.